Hello everyone, welcome to this demo session on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. First of all, thank you so much for all of you making my channel as the planet's #1 channel on SAP UI5 and Fiori training, including ABAP on HANA and all the technical skills. Thank you so much for all your responses which you are putting on the YouTube and the mails which you are sending it to me continuously. And it's great to see your enthusiasm towards your learning on these technical skills over a period of time. In today's demo class, we will go ahead and discuss about the basics of SAP UI5 development. We will talk about how to create our first UI5 application. And in upcoming sessions, we will discuss about how to set up our development tool. What is the prerequisite to begin and develop a UI5 application? What is the difference between UI5 and Fiori? What are the different interview questions as well as certification questions which will help you to crack the certification? We will also discuss deep dive inside the OData development during this course as well. So not just the front end, but also you will learn the back end part for developing the end-to-end UI5 application. What is the course snippet in a short term? If I would like to emphasize on the flow of this course, this entire course is break down into four different parts, four different modules equally divided. The first part of the module will start with introduction of or the foundation for SAP UI5. You might have heard about these technologies but unable to grasp the deep knowledge about these technologies, or maybe when you attend some demo sessions or training sessions, the trainer wouldn't have touched upon these topics, but however trainer would have told you that these are all the topics you need to learn, and till today it was little difficult for you to follow through the sessions which are little advanced. However, it's important to learn these basic foundation techniques. What are all these techniques? That includes HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery. Most of you are from a web background, and probably you would have learned these things in college days or might not have learned these things in college days. We will be completing these all four things as part of our classes. So this is the reason there is no prerequisite to learn my course, because we will be covering all these things from scratch in this course. Hence there is no prerequisite required, guys, to be able to attend this course, because we will be covering this. Another major question which many of you ask me, Anubhav, do I need to have a Java knowledge? No, guys, Java knowledge is not required. We need JavaScript. JavaScript and Java are two different languages. Their purpose, their design, and their usage are different. The JavaScript is easier to learn, and it is a browser's programming language. We will cover JavaScript also in this course, so you will be comfortable with JavaScript coding, and then only we will proceed forward to build an end-to-end application with UI5 and Fiori. The next phase of the course, we will talk about SAP UI5 development. We will discuss about the architecture for SAP UI5. What is SAP UI5? What is Open UI5? What is UI5 SDK, Software Development Kit? Where can you find the relevant, up-to-date, latest documentation for UI5? And based on that, you can start developing variety of controls like button, text, table, drop down, selections, radio buttons, checkboxes, forms, different types of controls. We'll discuss the core competencies of UI5, how UI5 is better than BSP, Portal, and WebDin Pro. Of course, this is a very important interview question which may come across in when you're appearing for interviews, that what is the advantage of UI5 as compared to the typical web technologies SAP already offering. We will also discuss about control hierarchy, the most important topic in UI5. You need to understand how the framework works, what are all the properties, aggregation, events, all these things we will be discussing in detail. We'll talk about binding concept. There are four types of binding: property binding, aggregation binding, element binding, and expression binding. We'll also talk about binding modes. We'll talk about fragment concept. formatter concept. All this we will be covering in SAP UI5 framework and controls chapter. The third phase of the course is about end-to-end Fury application development, where we will talk about SAP M library and the latest concepts like component.js, router, route match handler, manifest JSON, and many more concepts like NeoApp JSON, how to do connectivity with an backend server using manifest API, how to include the OData integration with your UI5 application to perform all the variety of create, read, update, and delete, so-called CRUD operations. And finally, last but not the least, after learning all the batting part, we will learn the bowling part. I will make you all-rounder in this course. You will not just do the batting, we will also do the bowling. We will learn how to build OData services in SAP NetWeaver gateway layer. There is always something for you in this course, even you are not from ABAP background. Maybe you are working from BW background, or maybe you're from BSP background or non-ABAP background. Still, you will be able to build OData services because we have service generation technique, which helps you as a non-technical person also to create basic OData services as part of your development. We will be learning that also into this course, the service generation technique, and also the technique to write manual ABAP code to create the OData service. We learn about all the association, image processing, function import concepts related to the OData development in the backend side. And finally, we will integrate our UI application with this OData service together and build an end-to-end Fury application and deploy that finally on our gateway server, given access of this application to our end users. You, after completing this course, you will be eligible for exclusive series called Anubhav Learning Series for taking your expertise to completely new level, where we learn about responsive layouts, we learn about camera integration, deploying the application, batch request, then we have change set, we have deep insert, deep entities, all these little more advanced level concepts you will be able to understand and learn with the help of this training what we will cover. The complete training is designed without any copy paste of code. That's my main agenda. Majority of the demos or sessions you attend, everywhere you see trainers are doing copy paste of code. When you do copy paste of code, you will actually not be able to understand the depth of the subject. This is the main reason, the main USP of my trainings. I never ever encourage students who are first timers, beginners in the technology to do any copy paste of code. We should write every single line of code and also understand the necessary development tools to be able to develop the applications end to end. We will also have real time integration with our backend server. The first 80% of the course, we would not need any development server at this point. We will just use our web IDE. The web IDE is a web-based development environment. We will discuss about installation and setup for web IDE development environment. Don't worry, you need to know nothing, guys, for this course. If you are a college fresher, still you can learn this course. So many of you have dropped me many questions and about what about server access, what about system access, what about where will I develop, where will I write my code, all that. You don't need to worry. I will explain you everything from scratch. Even I will spoon feed how to do installation of necessary tools in your local system, or how to access the necessary tool directly from SAP Cloud Platform, which is giving you a free web IDE full stack version in your free trial account of SAP Cloud Platform, and all the integration with the backend server with the web IDE we will discuss. So literally zero prerequisite to learn this course. If you have an ABAP knowledge, that's a little added advantage for data development. Other than that, there is literally zero prerequisite to learn this course. Yeah. So that's about in a nutshell the course snippet, how the course will progress, what are all the overall content as part of the course. And now let's now begin with our demo, and we will discuss quickly about what is basics of SAP UI5 and how UI5 can be used to create an application. using SAP Web IDE. So let's try to understand what is SAP UI5. So I'll begin with the basics, very basic of SAP UI5, what exactly SAP UI5 is, and how SAP UI5 can be used to create a web application or a mobile application. So let's start. What is SAP UI5? This is the first question comes in our mind. UI5. Just try to understand. It's very easy. SAP UI5 is SAP's new UI technology to create, which is based on MVC design pattern and can be used to create responsive web application. SAP UI5 offering a framework to develop the end-to-end application which can support multiple browsers, multiple platforms, and devices. That's what SAP UI5 is. So in a nutshell, if I would like to quickly emphasize or discuss about the evolution of UI technologies, the first UI technology which SAP introduced was dialogue programming. Those who are working in ABAP, you might have seen those typical transaction code like VA01, MM01. Those are the transaction codes which are built using SAP dialogue programming, right? You use PBO, PAI, all that you use. The second generation of UI technology, which was a web-based UI technology, where SAP introduced SAP BSP, Business Server Pages, and SAP WebDyn Pro. Some of you might have already taken my WebDyn Pro training. However, for this course, forget about it. WebDyn Pro is not at all required. VSP and WebDyn Pro both are not required. I'm just explaining you the evolution of UI technology from SAP side. So we had BSP and WebDyn Pro. These are web technologies by SAP. WebDyn Pro was again available in two flavors for WebDyn Pro ABAP and WebDyn Pro Java. Yeah. This was the next level of UI technology. And then we have got now SAP UI5 around 4 to 5 years back in the market. And this is now known to be the prominent UI technology for developing Fiori based applications. So this is the UI technology which is used with every upcoming SAP products. Some of you must be working on Suite on HANA project, Business Suite, or in S4 HANA project. You would see everywhere the UI which is used now is SAP UI5. Now, in the above definition, I have written couple of terms which must be little confusing for many of you. What is MVC design pattern? What is responsive web application? What is framework? So let's try to understand all these three terms. What is each of these term means? The very first term comes here is MVC pattern. The MVC design pattern is something called the way, or it follows certain protocol which we need to follow while designing a application an application. This includes a view, which is nothing but your input output, a controller, which includes your processing unit, and data, which is nothing but your model, which is nothing but your data. So that's what MVC design pattern is. Any machine in this world you see, Any equipment you see in this world, or any software, computer, or any hardware you see, everybody works on the same principle: input, output, processing, and data. So that's what MVC Design Pattern explains about. We will have a detailed session in upcoming days about MVC Design Pattern. We will talk about what is a design pattern, why it is used in software industry, and what is MVC Design Pattern to support you developing a UI5 application. Our main focus in this course will be following standard. Many of you already working on UI5, but you may not have a confidence that whatever you're creating by looking at internet, by looking at blogs on internet, by looking at some videos on internet, you may be able to develop an application today and deliver it, but you don't still have that confidence that whatever you have done, is that the right way of doing things? Are you following the right standards? Are you following the best practices in industry? Tomorrow somebody review your code, what will they say? Is your product which you've generated, is it extensible? Is it reusable? Is it future adaptable? All these questions may come in your mind. You are able to deliver, but you are unable to build the confidence around yourself, around the teams, around your colleagues, that you know from depth. This is what we will target in the course, not just learning, but deep learning, understanding every single bit of it. Why things are like this, why they are like this, what is the reason things are like this, the way they are today, and what is changing? How can you adapt to the upcoming changes and make sure that your app is exactly as per the standard? So when you compare your app, custom app which you are going to build, with the standard delivered SAP app, you should see ideally no difference. You should see the same structure, you should see same pattern, you should see same behavior, you should make it, try to make it more and more close to standard. So that's what our main goal also in this course. We will make sure that you are successful. We will make sure that app you build, nobody can point a finger on it in the company. When you go for code review, you can talk with confidence. This is what will also be our main intention as part of this course. And for that, whatever is necessary, we will be discussing in this. Next comes is responsive web design. What is responsive web design? The term responsive gives you a feel like performance is good. No, guys, a responsive web design is a web design which adapts itself automatically based on devices we use the app on. So if you're running the application in mobile, tablet, desktop, it adapts the application on its own automatically based on the device. That's called a responsive web design, an application which adapts itself. So you have to code application only once. You don't have to code application separately for mobile, separately for tablet, and separately for desktop, which was initially the kind of methodology which software vendors and developers were taking. They were developing different applications, apps for mobile. They were developing web-based applications separately, and now the user experience goes for a toss because you don't get same experience in both places. So, and also you have to triple maintain the same code base, or almost similar code base three times, one for mobile, one for tablet, and one for desktop, or probably for projector, and it'll do a lot of changes there. So now the responsive web design, a design which you have to code only once, and it adapts itself according to the device. It runs in all the devices. Very good interview question. We have a deep explanation, another a complete dedicated chapter on CSS, which allows you to perform a responsive design in the upcoming days in unit number 6. Then what about the framework? Very important term. Many of you have heard about .NET framework. What is a framework? Let's try and understand definition of a framework. A framework is a collection of libraries. Each library is a collection of classes, and each class is a collection of methods. That's what exactly a framework does. So SAP UI5 is actually a framework, And this framework allows us to build responsive web application. It gives you collection of APIs, collection of different classes. You can reuse these classes and build a web application much faster. So you don't have to code for everything. You will get ready to use APIs. You can just use them and start creating your application faster. That's what the benefit of framework is. These days, a lot of frameworks are very much popular in the web based development. Suppose you want to build a Facebook like website or a Twitter like website, there are frameworks like MeanStack, there are frameworks like AngularJS, there are frameworks like React.js, Bootstrap. These are some couple of frameworks which are very famous in industry. Those who are ever worked with website development, guys, you must have aware. Those who have not worked with website development, don't worry, you don't really need to learn those frameworks. We're going to focus here on SAP UI5 framework. We will go deep inside SAP UI5 framework and see how the framework itself is designed and how can you yourself understand the framework to be able to efficiently code any control in SAP UI5 you can use after learning it from my course. We will not focus on controls more. Of course, we will be developing a lot of controls, working on a lot of controls, but our focus is to understand the framework, because tomorrow when a new control comes in, you can easily adapt to it. So if you understand the core framework, how framework is working, it's pretty easy for you to work with any control in SAP UI5. That's what will be our main motive. Towards the end of this course, we will be learning actually in the second phase we will be learning more about this framework. So hope with this it's clear. And now let's quickly move on to create our first simple UI5 application. So whenever we want to start creating a new program or a new application, what are all the prerequisites? So what is the flow of a typical program? So what is the flow of a typical software program? The very first thing which we start is with initialization. We have to initialize our variable, we have to initialize or invoke the necessary dependencies. So if any dependencies are there, we need to invoke those dependencies, we need to initialize our variables, we need to load all the necessary libraries. If at all there is a library you are using, you need to load those libraries and stuff like that. That's the first part of initialization. Then comes this declaration of variables related to your application. Suppose I want to create a simple report program in ABAP where I want to select data from Mara table. I have to declare a work area or an internal table. That's my declaration, which we typically do. In the third phase, we will do all the pre-checks. If at all there is a pre-check which you would like to do, that whether necessary dependency is loaded or not loaded, all these things which you want to do a pre-check, you will do the pre-check. And then you will have all your processing logic to instantiate your objects, to instantiate the variables, to initialize variables, instantiate objects, create objects of the classes and all that. In the next phase after the processing logic, you will also, if there is a need, you will read the data and load in program variables. And again, you have some application and validation logic. Finally, you will have completion of program, and then we will have a cleanup code to settle down all the variables, all the invocations which we have done. We will got to clean up. This is the typical flow of any software program which you write. If you have ever worked with any programming languages, uh, you will actually might have worked one or two or probably three or four of these things in your program. One important announcement to all of you: this course is designed for programmer. This course is designed for developer. So if you really interested in coding, If you are a developer, if you are into a developer role, or you want aspire to become a developer or a UI5 Fiori front end developer or back end developer, this course is for you. We will be doing hard code coding in this course. This course is not functional course, so somebody who is looking functionality like order to cash, procure to pay, this kind of functionality, this course is not for you. However, even functional consultants, if you are a functional consultant, want to move into the technical area, want to do little bit of development, or you're a project manager handling a team of 20-30 people with the UI5 development team, this course will definitely help you to to understand the technology better, so that you can review the development activities what your team is doing. You can also estimate the things better, which somebody cannot really fake it, right? So one of the project manager who has joined my training, he is now more confident. He has also written an email to me. Initially he was very skeptical. He was heading a team of 45 people in Singapore for which is developing core UI5 Fiori applications, custom application within the company, and he was lagging into the confidence. He was, when he came to me, he said, Anubhav, I'm handling a team of 45 people, and every day in the meeting I have no clue what developers, architects they are discussing. They are talking something and I am unable to understand, and somehow I kind of lose the respect also in my company. They don't respect me because I have no technical knowledge. And sometimes developer give me wrong estimations for a small thing like adding just a button control in a toolbar. They give me estimate of 2 days, 3 days, which is actually a 5 minute of work. And this is the, and I cannot say anything to them because I have no idea what's going on. So this course will also help you to get that depth understanding, so that nobody can make really a wrong impression out of it. Nobody can really give you a wrong estimation if you are working in a project management or as a scrum lead role. So let's move on and try to create a simple program now. Of course, we are not going to use everything what I've written here. This is a typical software program. Some or the other things you will be using, but we will not be using everything what is mentioned here. We are just going to use couple of very few of those steps. So the first thing which we will be using is initialization. As I mentioned, that we are going to use SAP UI5 framework. So you have to load SAP UI5 framework. So first step comes is initialization, and in this initialization step, we need to load SAP UI5 framework. Yeah. So this is the first step which we need to do. As we are going to use UI5, we got to load it, right? So how do you load? So this is your program which you are writing, and this program now needs to load SAP UI5 framework. So there are multiple ways to do that. We're going to learn in detail in upcoming days in our session. So basically there are two ways. One is from local reference and another is from CDN. CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. Imagine this is something available on internet. We have again a session planned dedicated on CDN in upcoming days, but right now just understand there is something in the internet. So you have this internet, and here on the internet there is a file which you want to access. Okay, so this is actually a CDN. So UI5 framework is sitting here on internet, and I will call a URL, dedicated URL to call this CDN. This is actually content delivery network, and this is there on internet, and I will say, hey, content delivery network, can you please load SAP UI5 in my program? So that's what you are telling to CDN. So of course this is available on internet, so there will be a URL which you would know to, or the location or the address where this UI5 is sitting, right? So that is the URL we will be using to load this program. And how do we load this is we will use a special statement. In this statement is called script statement. It's all tag based, so we're going to use a tag called script tag. And in this we're going to give a source property, source src property, where we will put the URL from where we would like to load. So here you're going to put the address or the location where the UI5 is sitting on internet. I will give you that location. I will also explain you in upcoming days how do you find that location using by referring to the documentation. Okay, so that's what we got to do. Then we have to also put here which library you would like to load. UI5 is a framework, it's a collection of libraries. Yeah, it has lots of libraries inside. So how can you load the libraries, which are all the libraries you wish to load. So that's what we're gonna also mention in here. So we will use sap-ui-libs to mention which library I would like to load. So I will be using sap.mobile library. This is the library. As I mentioned, framework is a collection of library, and now it has huge collection of library. You don't want to load everything. You want to load very specific libraries. So that's what we're going to mention. So the data hyphen sap ui libs, that will be your library name. And then the data hyphen sap UI theme. There is also something called theme parameter, which you can put to give a good look and feel to your application, to get that standard feel, a standard look and feel of a standard SAP UI5 application. You will be also loading theme. The typical theme which we refer these days is SAP Bleeze theme, which was introduced with Fiori 2.0. But you can also use SAP Blue Crystal theme, which is very famous. What are all the themes available? How do you use them? Where can you find them? All that we will be discussing in detail in upcoming days. But right now, from a demo point of view, this is our initialization code. So let's create now our first program, first UI5 program. And in that UI5 program, we will be creating or loading our necessary dependency as part of initialization. So for that, where will you develop? Can you write a program of UI5 in a notepad? Of course, you can do that, but that will not be so efficient for you going forward, because we will be writing a lot of different files, a lot of different projects, and a lot of different artifacts we will be putting in our project. We will be grouping all that. We will be modularizing, interacting. So for that, the notepad is not a good tool. And so in that, this is the reason why we not use notepad to write UI5 application. We would use a tool called SAP Web IDE. SAP Web IDE tool is available in multiple flavors. We will be discussing. One is Web IDE Full Stack and one is Web IDE Personal Edition. I will explain you about installation of this tool and setting up this tool in your system, in your local system, step by step in our first chapter tomorrow. So, but before that, I just right now directly launch the tool for you. So what I'll do is I'll just launch the tool. So I'll just go to my Web IDE tool directly. So I just connect to my Web IDE tool. I have already installed, set it up this tool in my local computer, and I will also explain all of you how to do that so yourself. So you will be able to do it in our next class on your own. Okay, it's absolutely free for trial purpose for a developer to practice and understand and learn complete end-to-end development using SAP UI5. So okay, I have a couple of files open here. I'm just going to close that and keep it like fresh. And now what I'll do is I'll create our first project. So I'm going to right click on the workspace and I'll say, please create a new folder here, because I'm going to group everything inside one single folder. So let's create a new folder, and I'm going to say January demo and click on OK. And now we're going to create a file inside. I will just right click on the folder which we created and add a file called demo.html. You can put the file name anything you wish to. It's your choice. So you can put demo.html. Usually the industry standard is putting it as index.html. That's a usual industry standard. The file name, we keep it as index.html. As I mentioned, we are not just going to develop, but we are going to look at best practices, the best standard way of doing things, so that you will never ever do mistake and nobody can point on your work in the real time. Now this file includes always two sections. One is a header section and one is a body section. So this is what every HTML file includes. Of course, there is a dedicated chapter planned on HTML5 basic. So I'm just going to put the document type as HTML, and now I will put an HTML tag, and inside this HTML tag we are putting header and body. So that's your basic HTML file. Okay, it has two parts, header and body. Just like human has head and body, similarly an HTML also includes one header and one body. It's completely tag based. What is this HTML tag? What is this doc type? There is a session planned on basic HTML. We will be discussing that in detail. Okay, so that's what we will be discussing in detail in our first chapter on HTML5. So now As part of initialization, let's go ahead and write here in the header part. I'm going to write my initialization code. So as I mentioned, script tag, and I will say source, please load SAP UI5 framework from internet. And I will also say, hey, can you please load the library data SAP UI sap.m library I would like to load. And then I will say data hyphen SAP hyphen UI theme equals to SAP Blue Crystal. So that's your initialization. But now it's time to give the URL from where the UI5 will be loaded. So I'll just put http sap ui5.tools.hana.ondemand.com/resources /SAP UI code. Yes, this is the address where the SAP UI5 framework is stored. You can just copy this address and also test it also in the browser directly. Just put it in the browser to check if you get a response. No, we are not getting a response. I think we are missing something. So SAP ui5.hana.ondemand.com, I think its tools are not there. So just try this and let's press enter. Voila, you can see the SAP UI5 development toolkit. This is giving some response, which means this is the correct URL, and I'm just going to put this URL now over here. So that's your address from where the UI5 framework is getting loaded from internet. Yeah, now this step is done and it's time to go ahead and write something in the body. Right now I'm just going to say div tag. Okay, what is a div tag? We will discuss this in detail. Right now, understand this is like a screen area. You are putting right now just a screen area, and this screen area you are going to bring some content. Okay, so you're going to bring some content in this screen area, and that content will be designed by UI5. So now we will be later on getting a button here in the screen area. So we will have a screen area. This is your screen area, the yellow color box, which is your blue the yellow color box area, and then you're going to get a button inside this screen area. We will be doing that in a minute. But before that, I will also add something called a classification here, classification property, and it's called sap.ui body. What does this class means? This we will be discussing in chapter number 3 called CSS. So there is a CSS chapter plan, unit number 3. We will be discussing about it in our unit 3. What is class? Okay. Right now, just understand I put a class called SAP UI body. And right now, I will also put inside this div, welcome to demo on http www.onlinefurytrainings.com. And I just put this small text here which I want to print on the screen. We are ready. Congratulations guys, our first program is ready to run, where we have loaded the SAP UI5 framework. We have also added a HTML body, the content of the page which user can see, and a small screen area in which a hard coded text right now. Okay, I'm going to save this, and we can just click on this nice play button here to run our program, and just click on play button and watch out now. Boom, there you go. You can see the background color is now little bluish, sky blue, right? Why? Because it has loaded SAP UI5 framework, and because of that UI5 framework which it has loaded, it has got this little blue color because we have used the theme here called SAP Blue Crystal theme. That's why the blue color have come. If I just remove the theme name and save this and come back and refresh, you would see the color is changed to white, which is a normal web page color. It's because the theme is properly loaded, the color is little blue color. This is the reason why you see Fury applications, they have little blue color theme in the background, because it's SAP Blue Crystal theme which is getting loaded. There is also a theme called SAP Bleeze theme and a Bleeze high contrast theme. We will also discuss about theming in detail in upcoming days. So this shows, or this proves, that UI5 framework is now loaded properly. As I mentioned, now we're going to use some control out of this UI5 framework. So a framework includes libraries. So now this framework has libraries. The library which we loaded is SAP M, and the library has a class. So in this case, I want to use now a class called button class. What is the syntax do we use to create our first object? Okay, so now we are moving, initialization is done, we are moving to create now an object. So let's look at here. So what is the syntax to create an object in SAP using SAP UI5? So the syntax here is you got to use var your object name equals to your library name dot your class name parenthesis curly braces, and you are going to use here something called an ID. Sorry, you can use IDs here itself, so you can use ID of the control which you wish to give, comma, and now here you have to give properties, so you can give SID comma properties. So what is SID here? SID is nothing but the ID of the UI control which we wish to give. So every control on the screen, the UI control, the user interface control, will be having a unique ID on the screen, and then we have properties like which influence the behavior of UI control. Okay, so what are all the properties we have? Typically we have like text property, click property, press property, lot of different properties. We have also aggregation and events we will be discussing in detail. Usually we always provide this information inside curly braces. Okay, now guys, what is Funda Fox? First Funda Fox of today's class. What is Funda Fox? This was a word which I have invented during my college days to mark something important. Usually we use highlighter, right? Whenever we are studying in college or school days, we use highlighter to highlight some important point in the book, right? Or in the notebook. So that's exactly Funda Fox. This is the most important context of the current topic which you must remember, never forget, because this is important from certification point of view, interview point of view, and your expertise building, helping you to build your expertise. So these Funda Foxes I will give in every section. Every session you will get some Funda Foxes, which is the top most important section which you should never ever forget to become an expert in UI5. This is how slowly and steadily, little bit of learning, we will become an expert in UI5 over a period of time. So the first Funda Fox of today's session is to understand symbols will break you or make you, guys. Symbols will break you or make you. What do you mean? Sometimes we kind of conveniently ignore our lack of expertise. We should not do that in our session. We should be very thorough about the subject. We should have a deep command on the subject which we are learning. So here, if you see, when you are a programmer or developer, these symbols will break you or make you. So this is the reason to understand what do we call these symbols. So this one, many people call this as a bracket. This is not bracket. This is called parenthesis. Maybe you may find it very silly, maybe you find it very trivial, that Anubhav, what is that you are teaching? But for many of us, this is not trivial. Many times we often do a mistake interpreting or telling somebody, when we are talking to a developer, another developer on the phone or Skype call, you may tell that something else, and he may write or she may write something else. You need to be very clear. If you really want to become an expert, you need to really spend time, you need to really focus on these tiny little things which may hamper your performance going forward. This one is called curly braces, and finally this one is called bracket. Okay, this one is called bracket, guys. So hope you are clear. Symbols will break you. In the programming, each of these symbols has its own meaning. Each of the single thing has its meaning, guys. It has an important meaning. So symbols will break you or make you. These are all the symbols which you should never ever forget. You should name also them like this. The second Funda Fox, every statement here will end with every statement will end with semicolon. And this is the semicolon symbol we should remember. So these are two Funda Foxes to create our first control. So let's go ahead and try using this. So properties will always come under the curly braces. So use this syntax. I'm going to cut this syntax, copy this syntax from here, and let me put that syntax over there in our program and try to follow that up. So I just put another script tag, and inside this I'm going to write my code. So let's bring the syntax here. I'm just putting it as a commented code on the top, and I will follow now this syntax to create our first control, which is probably a button control in here. So I'll say var obtn equals to new. Of course I forgot the new keyword, because you're creating a new object you have to put new keyword, and you're going to say new sap.m library. You see the library name, which library we loaded. We loaded sapm library. I want to use this. Inside that there is a button class. So button is a class. I'm going to use that. Now you may think, Anubhav, how do you know that the button is a class, right? This is what we will learn in our unit number 7, where we'll talk about SAP UI5 SDK. You will get a complete understanding of what is a button, what are all the properties this button has, which properties you can use, and what behavior it will exhibit. So that's what we're going to learn in our unit number 7 UI5 SDK. Right now, just understand this is a class, inbuilt class in UI5, which SAP offers to create a button object. And I'm going to just put an ID in double quotes. I can say ID Spidey. You can put anything you like, your ID. And now curly braces. As I mentioned, properties will always come in curly braces. And now inside here, you can write your properties. So the first property comes is text property. And I'll say the button name is Spider-Man. So that's my button name I want to keep. So now you can see I have created sap.m.button, and it has got the text as Spider-Man, and this button is created with the help of SAP M library button object. Clear, everyone? So that's your new UI5 control, following the syntax what we had learned line by line, step by step. No copy paste of code, guys. If you are copy pasting the code, you will not get an insight of the line. You will not be able to understand the concept in depth. This was the reason till today you were failed. It's not like you have not tried learning UI5 self learning, but you have failed to do that because you were just following blind examples from internet, which are written maybe years ago, may not be also relevant and as per the new syntax. You may be using still the old syntax, or somebody would have written a blog in 2014-15, and that's what you're using. Since then, many things have changed. Don't try to stick to those blogs. Things are changing every day. It's evolving. New syntax is coming, new features are coming, and you're still stuck with old code. Why? Because you're copy pasting code from internet blindly without really giving a thought on it. So we will be learning standard techniques, best practices in this course, which will make you an expert. And now, once this button is created, this button has to be kept on the body, because until the button is moved to the body of HTML, user cannot see that. You must put that into the body. So we're going to move this button into the body. So I'm going to create another element, and I'm going to give an ID to this element here, and I'm going to say my area. I can say UI area, whatever you like, you can give. You can name it as a UI area. In this UI area, now I'm going to place that button. Yeah. So let's take this button, and I will call a method called place at, and I will pass the area name. It's UI area. So let's pass the UI area. So what it actually does, it will now place your button inside that area. It will place our button over here inside this area. That's what exactly we are now trying to do. Save this. We are done, guys. Congratulations. Your first application is ready. Let's refresh here. Voila, there you go. There you go. You can see a nice Spider-Man button is now available on your screen. It's clickable. Of course, right now when you click, nothing happens. The reason is very simple. You have not written any processing logic for the same. So just want to write a small processing logic. Okay, let's give a try. So come back here inside the properties section, the curly braces, and we're going to write an event called press event. Once again, the question may come in your mind, Anubhav, why how do you know that press is the event name? Why not click is an event name, right? Why not click? Why not tap is an event name? Why only press? Yeah, the reason is very simple. There is a documentation which is available for the UI control. It's called UI5 SDK. We will be discussing that in detail in upcoming days. So right now, when I press, I will trigger a function and I'll say, just give me an alert message. And I'll say, welcome to SAP UI5 demo by onlinefurytrainings.com. And I'm going to just save this. And now watch out what happens. Save this up, come back and refresh the page. And let's click on the Spider-Man button and see what happens. I click on that and there you go. You can see welcome to SAP UI5 demo on onlinefurytrainings.com. That's what was the demo, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Never ever copy paste the code. That will be our agenda going forward. And never learn from trainers who are teaching you copy paste. If you wish to learn, you have to learn it, because this is the technology where SAP is moving into. Every SAP product is coming with UI5 and Fiori, so there is no way you can escape out. You can leave it behind, you can ignore it, you cannot ignore it. You have to do the UI5 development. That's why we all are here today in this demo class. You are listening to me, the reason is same. You also know that it's important for you to move into this technology. Otherwise your package, your salary, your luxury, your all the hikes, all the recognition, everything which you are getting today, it will stop. The reason is very simple. The industry is changing, it's evolving towards new technology, and this is the new technology. You better you adapt faster. Otherwise your competitor, your colleagues, your friends, they will adapt before you, and they will get better projects, they will get better prospects in their career before you do it. So this is the reason why we are all here to learn it together in this session. Okay, hope you got a clear idea. Those who also want to know what is the right learning path, what is the right learning way, shall I go with the ABAP on HANA, shall I go with UI5 Fiori, you can watch one of my YouTube video on my channel which I posted yesterday. It's about how to become SAP full stack developer. What is the prospect of becoming a full stack developer in SAP? What are the technologies you must use to become a full stack developer? What is an on premise? How the salary expectation? What is the future prospect to learn UI5 and Fiori? How can you really gain a good salary prospect? I have also given here the career and salary prospect for SAP UI5 and Fiori, or also for full stack developer. What are all the salary prospect which you can really gain good? This is the time, guys. Already the best time was yesterday, and the next best time is now. This is, I'm trying to create a big learning university. You can see lots of YouTube videos here on my YouTube channel. This is the planet's #1 channel on SAP UI5 and Fiori and ABAP on HANA. You want to become a complete end-to-end full stack developer and get familiarized with all these new technologies. This is the platform. Try to ask yourself, the trainer which you are choosing, is that trainer fulfilling all your needs? Does that trainer have caliber and the expertise to deliver you all this? Are they really faking, or are they really able to deliver all these things to you? I have given 50 plus demo videos on YouTube. जितना वो लोग पढ़ाएंगे आपको ट्रेनिंग में, उतना तो YouTube पे फ्री में डाल दिया है मैंने. So you have to judge, also find out the trainer. Maybe I will not be the trainer for you, maybe I will not be able to cater to all your learning needs, but before deciding your trainer, you need to be careful. Is that trainer doing a copy paste of code? Be careful for trainer who is doing copy paste of code, but because that's not the right way of learning, you will miss out on many things. So if you still don't want to join the course, please watch my YouTube video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, so you'll not miss out such powerful videos. I have also given a video on New Year's Day, how to learn SAP UI5 Fiori ABAP on HANA, quick learning tips. Anybody can learn anything in the world by following these tips. This is very powerful learning tips which I've done. I'm trying to create a very powerful university for all the developer community, the technical community who is struggling today hard to find out the right learning path, find out the choices, the options which we have for deployment, the tools which we should invest in, the time, where should you invest your time? Everything is on internet, but finding out the right things takes a lot of time. And here my duty or my responsibility for towards you is to get you the best out of industry, get you the best out of internet, and present it in front of you, so you will get to know the latest trend, the core technology, the foundation, and together all of this you can create magic in your career. You can create really a mesmerizing effect around you. People will start respecting you, people will start coming towards you, you will get good projects, better prospects in your career, and definitely can grow this year. So try to target the same. Always you can follow onlinefurytrainings.com for the demo videos, the course content. The complete course content is also available. Even you're not taking course, you just want to find out and take UI5 interviews, free interview questions are posted here on my website. You all can download them all the time. This is absolutely available. And guys, the good news, I have also a Anubhav learning series which is absolutely free for those who have taken my UI5 and Fiori training. This learning series will help you to get hands on more advanced stuff, like starting and building an pizza application from scratch, starting from a database table till the audit service, for an end-to-end Fury application along with camera integration, Excel integration, file upload, download, uploading an image file in SAP system, fragment, crude operations, merge operations, responsive layouts. What is the best tool to use? How to convince your manager and your team whether to use WebID or Eclipse? Some of your companies are already using Eclipse. Try to explain them, show them the real mirror, show them the real strategy going forward, which tool you should use. There is a free presentation also available here. You all can go and check that out. So this is helping everywhere across the world, in all around the corners, a lot of people. And definitely you want to be part of the community, please join us from me, please join me from tomorrow for this particular course. Thank you so much for the demo session. Thanks for your time and attention. Have a nice day and goodbye. So that was it for the demo, guys. And now time for all your questions. Please, one by one only. Your lines are open. You can ask your questions, anything you have in your mind.
Hi, Abhido.
Hey, hi.
Hi, this is Anand here. I have one question. So this is for only front end and for also for back end
We
development.
will learn both front end and back end. Back end could be ABAP on HANA, you may be thinking. The ABAP on HANA and
It's
CDS view, that
it's
stuff we will not be learning here. We will be learning O data development from the back end side in this course.
okay. What it is, it's like CRUD operations. All those things will be covered here, right?
Sorry?
CRUD operations.
Yes, card operations we will be covering in this course. Correct.
But so basically, I'm from ABAP and HANA developer, so I know about CDS view and consumption view, all those things. So what are the course will be covered in the backend perspective? Because I'm entering into backend developer now, so I'm struggling to. So I have a basic doubt like where I have to code, I need to use BOPF, or where I need to write an enhancement in the existing method itself. Like I have some doubts, so it will be cleared in the session, right?
No, for that you should go with ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA technical training. This is pure backend course. In this course, I have talked about CDS view, BOPF, ADT, ABAP development tools in Eclipse. All that is covered in this course. I would recommend guys go to website, go to next batch section, check out the courses here, check out the next batch details, click here and then check the course content of each of the course. I have structured the course based on your needs already, so that will give you a good perspective of what is that you should try to target. Ideally, if you today want to survive, you should go with top three. These top three courses you must go. SAP UI5, ABAP on HANA, and Launchpad Fiori Security with Advanced Fiori. All three you must complete in next 6 months. This should be your learning target, learning path. But if you have still today have a burning need, like I want to work on CDSV immediately, you can go with SAP ABAP on HANA course. Always go and check course content on the website before subscribing for course. So you can always go and check course content here. You can see this course is more about custom application development, starting from scratch of UI5, Fiori, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and entire UI5 stack, complete end-to-end custom app development from Fiori. You will be able to do, including OData development. You can do it with this. For ABAP on HANA, if you are more interested like CDS views, BOPF, integration with CDS, creating transactional app, analytical app using annotations, then you new ABAP syntax, which we have got in NetWeaver 7.4. We have HANA objects, HANA information models, how to access them in ABAP, ADBC, AMDPs, all that with the S4 HANA case studies, everything, smart filter application, all this is covered in ABAP on HANA course. Then Fury Advanced course, Web ID full stack, multi workspace, Grunt JS based builds, best practice build using UI5, OPA 5, Q unit. We have mock server. We have then concept of multi workspaces. We have build tool, UX designing. What are all the basics of UX designer? Launchpad integration, cache concept for Launchpad, cache buster tokens. What are all the different level of cache management? Fury security, roles, objects, creations of catalogs, groups, tiles, dynamic tiles, static tiles, extending standard Fury application like timesheet, configuring my inbox application, create using SAP Web ID full stack, cloud connector, and then talking to SAP backend system, complete extensibility concepts, and then you have activation, deactivation, installation of Fury application, deactivation, and then exposing the data out, replicating the backend catalog, S4 HANA security concepts, tile mechanism, launchpad designer, theme designer, all that is covered in my advanced course, including Fury mobility, creating offline application using Apache Cordova plugins, all that is covered in advanced Fury training. कितना knowledge चाहिए सब मिलेगा under the one single channel. You're gonna get everything in the same style of teaching, no copy paste of code. Choice is yours. You got to decide how much you can take.
Hello. Yes, Anubhav.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Manyar here. Uh, Regarding this SAP UI5
Mhm.
and the Fiori, do also we need to have a knowledge of ABAP because I'm coming from portal background.
No problem. You don't need to have a knowledge on ABAP. As I mentioned at the beginning of the course, absolutely
Okay.
zero knowledge is required. If you have ABAP knowledge, little advantage to create OData service, but I have something for you. Those who have no ABAP knowledge, we will learn
Okay.
service generation technique by which you can create OData services also.
Okay. And if you want to also learn ABAP on HANA, in that case we need to have ABAP knowledge or
Yes,
like
for ABAP on HANA,
yes.
yes, ABAP knowledge is
Okay.
required for initial 30 to 40% of the course. For if you just want to learn
Okay.
CDS view and stuff like that, no ABAP knowledge required for learning CDS view. It's a completely new technology. ABAP CDS, there is no required knowledge of ABAP. Actually, 70% of this course you don't need ABAP. 30% of this course also
So
you need ABAP.
so what part of ABAP is needed? It is OOPS ABAP or it's like a basic ABAP?
Basic ABAP is okay. Core
Okay.
ABAP
Okay.
is okay. If you are comfortable with SE11, data dictionary, then core ABAP like internal
Okay.
tables, function modules, modularization techniques, that much is enough. You don't need to be an expert in dialog programming, smart forms, scripts. Those things are not required. Bodies, those things are not required. Simple core ABAP, if you
Okay.
know, this course is also relevant for you. You can easily learn it. I have already told you guys, if you really want to become a full stack developer, want to work with any upcoming projects like Suite on HANA, S4 HANA, all three courses are important for you. Try to target in next 6 month तीनों course complete कर लो. I can set your next 10 year of your career पक्का. 10 साल का नेक्स्ट 10 ईयर का करियर सेट हो जाएगा, कहीं जाने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा. ये तीन कोर्स कर लो. दिस इज हाउ दे आर डिजाइंड टू मेक श्योर दैट यू आर सक्सेसफुल. You get that respect back in your company. Everybody, if you want to come to you, then this is what you need to do. Direction is very clearly told to you. Its choice is yours. Hard work, you have to do it. There is nothing like free lunch. You have to do hard work. Hard work is the only shortcut to success. If somebody is telling you there is a shortcut to success, come and we will double your money in 6 months, sorry, it will not help you. It will not help you. Hard work is the only way you can be successful. There is no other shortcut. Still, choice is yours. Next
Anubhav,
question. Yes, please.
Anubhav, will you provide SAP logon for developing OData services?
You are asking about system access for developing OData.
Yes, yes, yes.
Majority of the people who are part of this course are working professionals in multinationals. You already have a server access with your own company, and I would really interested to save a lot of your cost here in this course. Hence, we do not include the server cost in the training fees because you would like to use your own server. But those who have no server access, those who want to get server access, we also arrange server access in 2,500 per month per user. It's an S4 on a server access. You can access that complete system locally from your computer. So just to give you a glimpse, I'll just show you one of the OData service which we had built in this server here. You can see this is the server, and you can access it from your local computer, just like you accessing your company network, company system. You can also access our server from your local computer. So that will be an extra cost 2,500 per month per user to be able to access this server. You can access it from your local computer from SAP GUI also. You can see it's been added here, my SAP GUI, and now I can connect to the server pretty easily. So this is something which you can access here, guys, from your own computer. Okay, so that's there. We will also give you SAP GUI installation. If you buy the server access, we'll give you SAP GUI installation for your local computer. You can install SAP GUI. There is no system prerequisite. If you just have a simple Windows or Mac laptop with an internet connection, you are good to go.
And what about this local web ID you mentioned?
Local web ID I'll explain you how to set up local web ID in our next session. However, those who are not attending my course from tomorrow, you guys can also go on YouTube and check one video I have, set up web ID personal edition. Just watch that video.
Anu, do
You
you
can also
explain
check
how
that.
to connect to backend systems
Yes, that will also be
from
covered.
local web
Of
ID?
course, we want to build an end-to-end application in this course. That is the reason we will also see how to connect to the backend system. Definitely, that's part of our course. The
And do we
You'll
backend.
be
like
providing.
if we have any doubts we can post to you, right? During
Yes.
installation, because I face some issues connecting to the systems, so I
Don't
can
worry.
post some
Again,
questions.
if you are also not going to be part of this batch or not attending my course, there is also a free video I have posted on YouTube for all of you, because I have a very big community who is following me continuously and sending me question and answers. For that, I've also posted a YouTube video. Connect your web IDE to SAP S4 system or any SAP gateway system. Please watch this video. It's going to be game changer for you. In this, I have explained how to connect your web IDE, local web ID or web ID in the cloud to an SAP system by creating a destination. सब कुछ सिखाया है सर. It's the
Hi
YouTube video.
Anvo.
It's an immediate painkiller for you. Those who are like waiting for this or not able to find a direction on internet, this is an immediate painkiller. So these immediate painkillers I will keep giving you in the middle. If you are having a burning need for something, there is a YouTube video which I will guide you, which will help you to achieve that. Detailed sequential training, you will only get it when you subscribe for the training, this training which we have. Yes, go ahead, please. Next question.
Hi Anvo. This is Vijay.
Hey, Vijay.
So, what is the Build Me tool?
It's actually used for prototyping purpose. Suppose you're working as a UX designer. This is usually a role which is given in a company, the person who design UI mockups. You remember the time before actually getting into the coding, we focus on design. You remember the waterfall development model or spiral development model, software development lifecycle, where we do design before we develop, right? Similarly, if you wish to design how the application will look like, how will it will have a flow between screens, wireframes, we call it as wireframes and prototyping. For that reason, we have a tool called Build Me tool provided by SAP for Fiori prototyping. Good news is I also have a YouTube video for you. Search for Build Me tool on YouTube.
Okay. I have
You will find
actually
a
I'm working
YouTube
for
demo
UI.
for that. Yes, there you go.
So actually I'm a UI5 developer. In our company, they are migrating from SAP Web ID to Build Me tool.
It's not possible. The Build Me tool is only used for prototyping. Web ID is used for development.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
we developing in Build Me, and they are when we then we are
Yes.
importing our Build Me application to web ID.
Right, that's what they must be doing. Correct, you're right. So first you prototype, then you develop. So here you are, the build me tool is used for prototyping. Here in this demo video you will learn it. However, if you want detailed training on build me, you can always go and subscribe my advanced Fury training where I've explained about it. Immediate painkiller you need, this is the video. This is the video.
Anubhav, you're providing real project scenarios, like.
Yes, I will be discussing real project scenario. We will be using EPM data model, which is called enterprise procurement model, a real-time data model in ERP system, which you can use to develop and demonstrate an application like sales order kind of scenario. So we will be doing that in the course.
You will be using which backend, Anubhav?
We
Yes,
are,
5.
the backend here is S4 HANA 1809.
For which we are having access?
Sorry?
Do we have access to that system?
Yes, I have access to this server 1809 S4.
Yeah, Anubhav, just a small question. This is Satish, okay?
Yes, please.
Do you, for the Ui5, you take only this other SAP modules? Will you take SAP HR module also or not?
No, I am not into functional. I'm more like developer, hardcore developer. Technical training is what you get.
No, I got it. You're developer, but what the question is, what is the module you're taking as example?
Okay, as an example,
HR module?
no, we are not taking ABAP HR. We are using EPM data model, which is only for demonstration and training purpose, which includes sales order, SD kind of.
Because the leave applications and all there in SAP Ui5, right?
Right. So then you are actually talking in terms of configuration. So if you want to extend a standard leave application or timesheet application, you need to subscribe this course. Here I've taken HR example to extend SAP timesheet application, which is standard SAP HR application. You should subscribe it advanced Fury course to extend the leave application, extend the timesheet application delivered by SAP. If you want to learn that, this is the course for you. But again, I am sure you will come back to me saying, Anubhav, कुछ नहीं समझ में आया मुझे, because you are lagging expertise. To learn the sentences, you need to learn words. To learn the words, you need to learn alphabets. You are saying I would like to directly jump to sentences. Choice is yours.
Okay.
I will not recommend, but it's your choice.
So, yeah, of course. But the point is that
Anubhav,
are you the same for HR module also?
No, we will not discuss. Other than this course, we will not discuss HR module in the first course. Yes, go ahead, please.
Anubhav, what about SAP cloud computing? Like,
you want to develop cloud application, native cloud application?
I'm just asking, like, Ui5 and Fury is part of the cloud computing, or how it is, like, means the cloud platform?
You can also build the SAP Ui5 Fury application in SAP Cloud Platform using WebID full stack. We will be giving I will show you how to do that. More or less, the coding never changes. Whether you write in cloud or you write in the local WebID, the same project can run also in the cloud. Same project can run in local also.
But what is the future of SAP Cloud Platform? Like you said, along with SAP Ui5 and Fury, we have expertise of SAP Cloud Platform.
So actually, if your company is going for S4HANA implementation, which your company will be, and definitely has to, because business suite support will be ending in 2025. By then, every company will move to S4HANA. So either it's on S4HANA cloud or S4HANA on-premise. Now with S4HANA, you can actually do side-by-side extension and development of your Fury applications and deploy them in the SAP Cloud Platform. So the future is very good for SAP Cloud Platform.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Anubhav, my name is Varsal and I have a question. See, you said like that, I just want to understand where the industry is going towards. See, we have a SAP ECC system that you said that by 2025 that will be replaced with SAP S4HANA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, see, in our organization, we have, I am a HANA modeler and BW for HANA developer. So there is a requirement and need to create Fury app on top of this HANA views, calculation views. So is it possible, or when they say they are going to develop Fury app it is on top of what? It is on top of a OData service or on top of a traditional SAP S4HANA tables or modules. I am not aware of it. So what exactly a business want to go ahead? See, we know that technologies are available, but how it can be adjusted if I have a typical SAP ERP system and I have a business warehouse system and I'm going for hybrid modeling, and my industry, I mean my organization's priorities go for hybrid modeling where I can leverage both real time and near real time flexibility.
Very good question. This is also the most asked question to me in many of the sessions or on the YouTube, and also probably on the emails which I receive continuously from you guys. So now you're saying you either have a traditional ERP, or you are on Suite on HANA or S4 HANA product of SAP, or you are just having a native HANA, only the HANA box in your company. Try to understand, guys, this is one of the possibility in your company as well, that your company either have an ABAP stack based already SAP solution. So these both solutions or all solutions are ABAP stack based. So there's an ABAP stack involved. Now, sometimes those who are working on BW or native HANA, only in on HANA you are doing modeling and stuff like that. For BW, you will have just HANA stack. You don't even have ABAP stack. Just try to understand. Fiori don't give a damn to any of these things. Fiori don't even care. UI5 don't even care who you are. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Fiori only and only understand O data services. That's it. अगर ओ डेटा दोगे तो काम करेगी, वरना नहीं करेगी. This is the only channel which can interact. Now you build your OData, it's your choice whether you build with HANA, Suite on HANA, S4 HANA, or traditional ERP. There are multiple techniques to build OData. One is using normal SEGW transaction is traditional ERP Suite on HANA, which is a web stack. One is using calculation view and creating an access OData service using native HANA development. It's called access.js and access OData, which is covered in my native HANA course. So you have to actually ultimately create an OData service either with this stack or this stack. There are multiple techniques like SEGW, access OData here, access.js. We have CDS view based OData. All of that is covered in all my courses. So I think your need is to learn this course, which is SAP Ui5 Fiori training with OData, where you learn building the first part, the front end part, which I was telling here. This part you must have to go with this course, and then from the back end, if you don't have a web stack, you should go with this course, native HANA development with access and access advanced. You should go with this course. For having only HANA as a backend. If you have one of these backend, ERP, SAPP, FICO, HR, any of these Suite on HANA, S4 HANA, then you go with this. This course is only sufficient for you. If you want to go with S4 HANA and Suite on HANA, more advanced like CDS stuff level, then you will go with this course. If you want to go more deep in terms of extensibility and Fiori security, you will also go with this course. At least I would recommend everybody to complete these three courses in next 6 to 8 months if you want a greater and better better project as well as career prospect. Those who are working on BW as a modeler today, you are building attribute view, analytical view, calculation view, and build Fiori application. For you, the courses is this one plus this one. These two you should go. I hope that answer your question. Fiori doesn't give a damn. Fiori doesn't understand function module, CDS view, or calculation view. Fiori only understand OData service. You will be seeing it in this course, how it works.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you so much for that question. Very good
Going
question.
forward, the SAP ECC will be replaced or replacing with S4 HANA, is it? So,
Yes.
native HANA will be losing its credibility when S4 HANA will be more.
Not necessarily. It depends whether you are going pure cloud or pure on-premise. If you are going on-premise with S4HANA deployment, you still have this stack valid. But if your company don't want an ABAP stack at all, you are a startup, you are a small company, mid-sized company, you just bought the HANA box, an in-memory database system, and on top you want to build it everything in the cloud or could be on-premise also with HANA Express Edition, you can still build it because it has a lightweight application server called Access Engine. So
Yeah,
if you want to build pure on cloud platform or stuff like that, then you can go with this access based native applications, which actually BW guys are already doing it. So there is nothing like something is losing its credibility. It's all about variety of options you have today. It's up to you what is structure, what architecture, what options your company want.
okay. Okay. Other than ABAP stack and HANA stack, Fury via UData, it can connect to any big data systems. Like suppose if somebody has a data lake or something, on top of that they want to develop. There is other directions of discussions is going on in countries like Mercedes-Benz and Boeing, where they have a ECC system and they are replicating it to with HBR, some other traditional concept, and they are replicating that into data lake. And on top of data lake, they want to create these apps. Is it possible?
Doesn't matter, as long as you give me audit, I can build an app.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. You give me OData. Guys, do you believe I also have a Node.js based product? I have built, I don't have HANA, I don't have ABAP. I still can build a Fury application on top of Java, .NET or Node.js. Yes, it's possible. I will demonstrate a couple of applications which I have myself built and deployed in native cloud, in not even a native cloud platform. We deployed in Ocean Cloud Server, building Node.js as a backend. As long as you can give me OData, Fury app works. This is the reason. This is bare minimum for any developer today. No matter what backend you have, Fury तो आएगा ही आएगा, लगेगा ही लगेगा. तो UI5 Fury तो सीखना ही सीखना है. कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं बचा आपके पास में. You don't have an option, you don't have a choice. अभी बदल जाओ सर, टाइम है. जब मार्केट आपको बदलेगा तो बहुत दर्द होने वाला है आपको. And when market is going to
How do I?
change you, it will be painful experience for you. Better you change yourself now.
How do I?
One final question. In which order should we learn the courses? Is it like SAP UI5 first, then ABAP on HANA, and then Fiori Launchpad? Or
Yes.
how is it like?
They are listed in the same order in which you should learn them. This is the ideal
Okay.
way. This is the ideal flow.
Each course is like, so only on weekends this course is there, or is it daily?
You can check the schedule of each of the course in the, click on the button and you can see here the schedule. Yeah. So today we are starting the as expected timeline. You can see I am very much on time in finishing my batches. I don't do like other trainers who say I have personal work. I am going to drop my kids to school today. My mom is not well. My wife is going her hometown. I am dropping her. All these nonsense things I don't do. I am very, very punctual and very much on time delivery for my trainings. You will never see a commitment dispute with me in terms of commitment for the trainings. Whatever I will quote you,
Thank you.
it will be started, completed, regular batches. Punctuality में कभी भी compromise नहीं करता हूँ मैं.
Anubhav, yeah. What type of in ABAP for HANA? What type of things we need to know about in ABAP?
Core ABAP.
To
Already
start,
told. Only core ABAP is
okay.
enough. You don't need to know dialog programming, scripting. Nothing is required.
Okay.
Core ABAP, if you know, very good for you.
Okay.
Abhinav, do
How-
we get any video after this call or each and every session? Do we get any videos? Because tomorrow, 2 days, I will not be available.
Right?
So
Of
if I
course,
join the
after every class, you're going to get a video in our training blog. If you subscribed already, you must have got the training blog access already to your email box. This is the video blog which you will get. You see, all the videos are already there for my last batch. This is my preview of last batch, which I recently completed yesterday. Yesterday, we had 3 hours of doubt clarification class. Usually at the end of the batch, I do keep a no time limit class where I just listen to you. So throughout the course, only I talk, and in the last day, you talk. You talk, you share your experiences, you share your feedback, you share your doubts, you share everything what you want to ask, where the industry moving, everything. You share your views. So this is what we have done. The last class was yesterday. It was 3 hours of class where we discussed about all the things. And just to quickly share, guys, since you already asked, just give me a minute.
Can we download video after payment?
Sorry.
Do we get
Can we download these videos after session?
No, you cannot download the videos. These videos are copyright protected. You cannot also record with your mobile camera these videos. These are copyright protected, and you cannot download videos. You can only watch.
And do we
But we can
and do we
after
get
the
access to
session.
the older videos?
No, you will not get older video access parallel to this batch. You will get video of this batch only. After the session is complete, you will get the regular videos. So let's say tomorrow we have class on installation of Web IDE. So after that class is over, you get video of installation Web IDE. Next to that HTML5, you get video that same day after 3 to 4 hours in the blog.
So both the videos are different or like?
Same.
If,
You want to go with
if you miss
video
some
based
class,
course,
then
it's same. It's a
no.
live
If you
class
miss
recording.
some class, then yeah.
Yeah, you can see guys here couple of feedbacks which my student have shared with me. I am extremely happy to inform you that I got selected for SAP Ui5 developer on contract law Pfizer Pharmaceutical. Told weeks few later 2 interviews were scheduled for Ui5 role. I am happy to announce that I have cracked both the interviews successfully and got selected in both of them. One was Pfizer and one was Campbell Soap, and Pfizer contract got executed first and I accepted the offer. So this was the feedback. You can see I get lot of feedbacks, lot of success stories. I have it today. I'm writing this mail to say thank you for changing my life. Opted for UI5 course 4 months ago, worked hard, finally landed to a good job as Fiori consultant. So people everywhere across the globe making great success stories, guys. You might have also been referenced one of your colleagues who has written, who has already taken training from me and reached to the apex level of their career. Maybe you can be the next success story. People are cracking multiple interviews. ये देखो तीन चार offer letter people are keeping in their hand. I already told you the salary prospect in industry. Full stack developer is making somewhere about 18 lakh to 23 lakh rupees with 6-year experience. This is the kind of package prospect with full stack developer people making in industry. That is enough for motivation, guys. और क्या चाहिए आपको? और सब कुछ एक छत के नीचे मैं दे रहा हूं आपको. सब कुछ मैं सिखा रहा हूं बच्चों की तरह.
Like,
I have a
hello.
question as Java and Hybris developer. So I am moving. Can I move myself to in this Fiori?
Easily.
Means after completion of these courses, and because in company I'm not getting chances to work on the Fiori, I have to work in my local system. And but I can't say myself that I am a full stack developer because my backend is Java and Hybris, but and front end will be Fiori. So how much confident we can get that we can, after switching the company, I can work as a Fiori. So what I have to do in my locals?
You
Means
just have to
kitna level
follow
of
the
practice
sessions.
level check?
You just have to
Okay,
follow
okay.
the sessions and you will become expert. मजे मजे में सीख जाएंगे हम लोग साथ में. This is why I'm sharing these feedbacks. You can see people are doing magic around the corner. If they can learn, you can learn. Just to tell you my story, guys, I am a hardcore ABAP developer. Take my blood sample, give to laboratory, you will find ABAP tissues. If I can learn, you can easily learn. I was hardcore ABAP developer 4 years back. A good decision which I've taken 4 years back to move to UI5, and it has changed my life.
And
Yes, please.
Anubhav? Yeah, actually, for developing code data, we need to have like code ABAP knowledge as well. So, will we get like code ABAP means lectures in this session?
No, core ABAP will not be covered in this session. But if you are not a BAP
Like,
expert, you will also get service generation technique learned in this course with which you can create basic OData service without even knowing a BAP.
okay, so means you will not talk about like function module and all.
No, sir. I will not cover core ABAP here. For that, you can take my core ABAP training, which is available in video mode.
Yeah.
and
Anubhav.
how long will we getting video access for this?
Hello.
Video access. How long will we getting?
Video access will last for 8 months from the day of training starts. Basically, from tomorrow, 8 months, you will have access to the videos.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Anubhav, is this course is enough for get certification?
This is enough to get certification, yes. But I don't provide any certification dumps. अगर knowledge चाहिए तो मेरे पास आओ, sir.
Yeah. I'm asking about the SIV certification.
Yes, you can clear that easily, but I will not provide dumps.
Hi, Anubhav. Abhishek here.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Just have a basic question. Like, I understand that tomorrow onwards we'll be having this regular sessions. So, if we have any doubt, what are the forums to get it cleared out? Will there be a questionnaire at the end of every session
Right.
or through emails?
Right. Just like today we are having. Similarly, of course, that will be not so big. Like we have a demo, lot of participants have joined. So many of you have a lot of questions. But usually after the end of the class, I will have like a round of question and answers where you can ask question about that session and the previous sessions. So definitely it will be there. I will also provide exercises at the end of the class.
And about the
All right.
timing
And
can be
can we
changed, is
also
it
email
possible?
you in case the
Yes,
doubts don't get sorted out or if you don't
absolutely.
have enough time?
Yes, you can email me always.
All right. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Hey,
hello.
Anubhav. I have a quick question regarding personas versus UI5. I want to know what's the difference between personas, UI5, and Open UI5.
Personas is mainly to modify your existing SAP GUI screen to make it look and give a same look and feel as UI5 Fiori. But it doesn't mean with Persona you can convert a SAP GUI app to Fiori app. No, that's not possible. It is just to make the changes to the screen, your current SAP GUI screen, to make it look like Fiori like screen and give the same experience. Soon, I am also planning to launch a course dedicated only on SAP personas, but you got to wait for it. So there are a lot of things lined up. S4HANA in-app extensibility, side-by-side extension, SAP Cloud Platform using core Java, using Spring Boot framework. We have in pipeline. We have also in pipeline the concept for hybrid application development course. We have also machine learning course in pipeline, SAP Leonardo course in pipeline. We have also the course for SAP GUI personas in pipeline. So these 7 to 8 more modules are in pipeline. Unfortunately, I'm not finding these days time because Fury is like eating my most of the time, day and night, and I'm also in my regular job, so it's not possible to come out of my regular job at this point. Hence, I cannot promise a timeline for the course, but yes, these things are already in the pipeline. Something from the
And how the payment works?
you got to contact me, Nakshi. So guys, for subscription and final, if you wish to join the course, you got to contact either my secretary Meenakshi, so you can contact install.abap@gmail.com to her. Just drop an email to her. She will guide you, or you can also drop an email to anubhav.abap@gmail.com. If you don't get a response from her, you can always drop an email directly to me on my email ID. You can also leave an inquiry on the website, and we will guide you through the procedure, also the steps to access the blog, and also to join the tomorrow's class on a regular basis. Some of you have already
Anubhav,
subscribed the course, and you guys are already in my target. You guys will get the invite for tomorrow's class, the regular session class. Don't worry about that.
so if
Just
I,
stay
Okay,
relaxed.
yeah,
Anubhav,
Anubhav,
I have a quick question here. What is the duration of the course?
Already mentioned when I started the batch, it was 40 plus
Yeah,
hours.
I missed it, the starting video. Are you sharing? I mean, I thought it's tomorrow. I missed it. So, okay, fine. So, what is the duration of the? I mean, can I get this whole introduction video after this class?
Yes, I will upload this video on the YouTube. Of course, this Q&A I will not upload, but I will cut the video.
Okay.
Only the first demo part I will upload on the YouTube. You can watch, subscribe my channel on YouTube to get an updates, so that you will also be notified.
ABAP HR developer. So, will this be any useful for me? Like, I mean to say, like, because you're not covering any HR module, you're covering the other Fiori. So, will this be useful for me?
Okay, one question: is ABAP useful to you in HR?
ABAP is yeah, ABAP will be useful to me.
Same thing applies here. If you ever want to build any Fury application, doesn't matter which functional area you belongs, it will be useful because concept remains same, only functionality changes.
yeah, Anubhav, if you do the payment now, how I need to send you email? Like,
Yes, you must have to send an email, guys, after making the payment or subscription of the screenshot of your payment so that it gets recorded in our records. Without the email, you will not get access. You will not get anything. because that's actually for you also as an evidence that you made the payment. For us also it's an evidence that you made the payment, right? So if you are
Okay.
making a deal, if you're really making a purchase, definitely the record is important. So your email is that record for us and for you as also in future. If you want to ever reference to that, you can always drop an email. That's always
But you will be sending. You can send the invite for tomorrow then.
yes, I will send you the invite anyway.
Oh, okay.
So you'll get the invite
70
by today 4 o'clock in the evening time, 4 to 5 o'clock in the India time. You will get the invite for tomorrow's class. You will also get the blog access assigned in your user ID.
Anvab, those
Yeah,
video which we will access will include all those this means conversation or the doubt questions.
Yes, today's demo session I will not include that, but regularly whenever we have classes, after the class, whatever doubts you discuss, they will be part of the recording, so you can listen to that else also.
Sure. So, Anubhav, what is the time you mentioned on a daily basis?
It's a India time, guys, 7 to 8 a.m. India time. So most of you, it's a if most of you it's evening time the day before. So it's like Saturday to Thursday in the evening EST 8:30 Eastern Standard Time 8:30 for most of you, those who are in US, and for Indian colleagues it will be 7 to 8 a.m. weekdays, Monday to Friday India time. 2 महीना दे दो सर, तैयार कर दूंगा पूरा. किसी भी लड़ाई में जाओगे तो जीत के आओगे. 2 महीना दे दो.
The timing
No, the
cannot be
timing
changed.
cannot be changed, is
No,
it?
it cannot be
Because
changed. I don't take individual students. I'd rather lose the student. I will say no to students. If they want to learn from me, they have to be at this time, or else you can take video-based course. Because for US candidates, this is the most suitable time. It cannot be changed.
Anubhav, how do we make the payment here?
Please drop an email, as I mentioned, to anubhav.abap@gmail.com. We cannot share account details, which is a private information on this public demo. So this is the reason you have to drop an email either to install.abap@gmail.com to my secretary or to myself, anubhav.abap@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, Anubhav,
Yes, please.
Anubhav, prior to tomorrow's class, I would like to know, I'm new to JavaScript and the front-end technologies. Is there any best document or website?
Sir, we will cover it in the course.
W3.
Don't worry. We will cover this in the course. You don't have to refer any external document for JavaScript, HTML5, CSS, jQuery. This course is designed for ABAPer. अगर ABAP developer हो, BW developer हो, portal developer हो, so you can learn it, guys, from this course. There is no prerequisite. Again and again, I'm repeating. You don't have to learn JavaScript on your own. I will teach you.
Thank you, Anubhav.
Yes.
What about that KPIT modeling?
Sorry?
Ui5, will you teach that one also?
Will you give support also, is it?
No, KPI modeling is that right?
No, KPI project is covered in advanced Fury training. If you want to build KPI tile with S4 HANA, it's covered in advanced Fury training. You can subscribe for that. Vaishali, you have a question? Vaishali?
Anubhav, how are you? Thanks for recognizing me. I'm enrolling for this as well. I'll touch base. Like I sent you an email, so we'll talk sometime today.
Fine, no problem. Okay, thank you. Thanks for attending.
And I'll send you the payment. I'll send you the payment.
Abhinav, you said you'll be covering the Oops ABAP as a
Complimentary, yes. Complimentary Oops ABAP video. You can see already in my last completed batch, they are here. I've already given it to students. You can see Oops ABAP day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. These are four complimentary Oops ABAP session, basics of Oops ABAP. You will learn it with this along with this course. So don't worry, that's my promise. Mera vachan hi hai, mera sashan.
No, are you giving the videos or are you giving the classes of that?
No, videos for complimentary videos. Yes.
Okay.
Anubhav, Core ABAPs, how many days do you have course? Core ABAP?
Core ABAP, it's like 30 hours of course. It's available on the website. Usually I don't take Core ABAP classes. कौन पूछता है Core ABAP को आज की डेट में? जॉब ही नहीं है उसमें. Yes, truly, we are hiring Core ABAP developer 12,000 rupees a month. Honestly, I'm telling you, this is the reality today. Core ABAP developer को कहाँ मिल रहा है? मिल ही नहीं रहा है, प्रोजेक्ट ही नहीं मिलता, बैठा रहता बेंच पे. So very
Anubhav,
roadmap has no future, man. That's why we are all here
Anubhav,
today
I need
to
server
discuss all
access. Like,
this.
how can I, to whom I have to contact?
You can contact Meenakshi, of course. You can send an email to her and she will necessarily provide you the necessary details. You can also drop an CC email to me. Don't worry, you can CC email to me. You can also reply to the same email which you guys have received from her for demo invite.
Yeah, Anubhav,
we
one
want to
last,
take.
you know,
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
yeah, Anubhav, see, in organization, right, you know, I work for General Electric. In my organization, we have a ERP system which is running for GE Power since last 20, 19 years. And all the ECC tables, right, there is a DNA team, data and analytics team, where all the ECC tables were replicated into the, you know, data lake system, which is the Hadoop and combination of Hadoop, Greenplum, like that. And we have another, you know, same kind of thing is going on, which is on modeling on HANA and hybrid modeling and all.
Okay.
So the industry, I mean, the take from VPs and senior directors is like which way to go. I mean, which is the best way, because data lake is having all the data from the legacy, from aviation, from healthcare. All data is sitting on top of all sitting on data lake, whereas you have chunk of data in the ERP and modeling is happening. So I'm just worried which direction, if I enroll and work also, right, how can I convince them
Doesn't
that this
matter,
is
sir.
better? And
If you can see this architecture, whether you have data in ERP, S4 HANA, or in any other system, it could be MySQL, it could be SQL DB, it could be MongoDB, it could be Hadoop, it could be any third party system where you may have data. As long as on top you can create an OData service, Fiori app ban jayega, sir. This course mein you will learn the complete front end part, integration with OData and understanding of OData. And then once you want to create a Fiori app either on this data, this data, this data, this data, as long as they will give you an OData contract, आप Fiori app बना दोगे. So this is the starting point. User interface always remain front end as Fiori.
okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So one final question: do you have the Fiori? Do we get the Fiori access to practice and all? And how long will it last?
We will develop the Fiori applications end to end, including OData services. If you want, as I mentioned, server access, there are options for server access, which I will put it at front of you. You can decide which server you want. Also, good news is there is a free SAP server which most of you does not know. It's called Is5 Beta. I will explain you about that server, but that's only in the read-only mode. You can't create anything, but yes, you can practice OData integration with the help of that free server Is5 Beta. I will explain about server option. Agar jaldi hai, so you can go my YouTube video for server option. I'll give you the link, guys. You can follow that link and check what are all the server options we have available. Of course, there is nothing like free lunch. Definitely, there will be some charge involved, but right now not needed. 80% of the course, we don't need server. Okay, we don't need server access for 80% of the course, so you don't have to worry about it at this point of time. Please mute your line, guys. Disturbing the class. I hope I was able to answer your questions. Thank you so much for listening as usual patiently for all my content, and it is good to interact with all of you all the time. It's my pleasure to be with you and help you in all to be able to make you successful in your career and find a right path for you in your career and grow with these new technologies. Once again, thank you so much. Soon you will see this video also on the YouTube, the first part of it where we had demo session. And see you tomorrow in the regular class.